fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the most efficient concoctions. All of Alzard's talent.
Halt! No one enters!
You speak to the legate of the merchant congregation, soldier. I have been sent by Governor Buren. I have to talk to Dr. Asili.
I don't take orders from the governor, nor the congregation. Be on your way.
I wonder who gives him his orders. Better to avoid a useless confrontation.
Very well. We're leaving.
Bit of poison on my blade.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the most efficient concoctions. At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the
Bit of
most
poison on my blade.
Dance, land dwellers! Come here, black beauties!
expect to find a place like this hidden here.
There must be other guards. Be careful. How awful. They've been reduced to burning the bodies.
How many have they killed? Let's see if we can ward off this fate! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
You're not one of them. Please, get us out of here.
Nort? What are you doing locked up here?
These scientists captured and abused us. They performed experiments, made us drink potions, took our blood. I heard them say that they wanted to find out how we are immune to the Malachor. None of it makes any sense. Please, get us out of here.
I'll find a way to open this cage.
I want the one who did this to know fear and suffering.
Let's hold this good doc. It's blocked.
blade. Then let's hit go!
Don't do it,
Let's go now. I want to see my people again.
Just one moment. I haven't freed all the prisoners yet. Now that they are free, we must help the prisoners escape this place.
They can't leave the way we came. The city guards would stop them.
So we have to find another way to get them out.
on my blade. And
Let's go. It's perfect. We just have to clear the way. The mechanism doesn't work. I need to take a closer look. I have to find the people responsible for what happened here. They must answer for their crimes. Wait for me.
We are prepared to fight these people with you.
Yes. We will make them pay for what they have done to us.
You're not strong enough to fight. It's better for you to stay there.
bit of poison on my blade. And bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Close to it, sir.
These poor people lost their lives only a few hours ago. They could not survive this mutilation.
If only we'd known sooner.
Who are you? You have no right to be here.
I have come to free your prisoners, and put an end to all the horrors that take place here.
I knew this would happen eventually. This all went too far. Dr. Asili, he lost his mind a long time ago. But what are you going to do with us?
Arrest you. Then I expect you will be sentenced.
No, please! We only followed the doctor's orders. We tried to stop him. But he is the director of the lab.
You could have reported it to the governor or left this place.
He threatened to destroy our lives. We could not... Please...
You can say all of this in court, It's up to them to judge you.
They will want to make an example of us. We'll not see the light again.
You should have thought about that before helping that monster. This note carefully describes the sequence of the experiments. There are even sketches. It's hard not to feel sick. This is proof of all the horrors committed here. Vasily has locked himself in his office.
Who are you, and under what right do you enter here?
I'm the legate of the merchant congregation, and I'm here to put an end to your crimes.
My crimes? What are you talking about? My work was for the good of humanity. Don't tell me you're crying over some savages. The survival of our species requires sacrifice.
What did you hope to find from all these experiments?
Since the Malachor never reached this island, I wanted to check if these savages were sensitive to it. And I discovered that they were naturally resistant. Do you realize the implications of this discovery? So I tried to isolate this resistance to develop a cure in order to send it to the people on the continent. But I doubt that you will be able to understand the subtlety of such an approach.
This man is a cold-blooded reptile. My brothers and sisters were no more than ants to him.
You are a very beautiful specimen. When I think of the power flowing through your veins.
Why do you bother with the Nords?
You are known to be immunized too. I wanted to check the reality of such a statement. To be precise, this is not the case. You are actually more resistant.
How many of my people did you have to slaughter to reach that conclusion?
We learned everything we wanted to know. This lab will close and you will answer for everything you have done.
You think so? Guards, capture these people!
Poison on my blade!
Let's go!
Stop! Think of my knowledge. All that I have accomplished. That can never disappear.
Even now you remain arrogant. You do not deserve pity.
Miserable simpletons! This is science you are murdering.
I can't believe it. Constantine's Malachor was caused by a silly. The potion we were made to drink when we landed on the island was contaminated. How dare he do such a thing? And why?
Either this doctor is crazy, or he wanted to provoke a war against the natives and the congregation.
Let's go. I found a way out of the city. But be careful. You are weakened, and creatures roam these tunnels. I will lead the way.
Poison on my blade. And let's see if you can ward off this fate.
There you are. You're free.
You have saved our lives. How can we thank you?
We will never forget what you have done for us on Almenawi.
Yes, we will always be grateful.
We're not very far from the Hikmet outpost. You'll have to be careful.
I know how to reach the port without being seen.
Perfect. As for you, you should take refuge in Big Shadia. You will be safe there, but you should avoid the Alliance patrols.
We'll get there. Kwa awalan segven.
closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the backyard.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory, and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiments. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Naughts.
Naughts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Alas, I was forced to end his life. He gave me no choice. That said, you will find ample proof of his madness there. You need only send a few men.
Perhaps I shall. But it should have been my role and that of his fellow savants to judge him. He was one of our most brilliant minds, and you have slain him like a beast. What proof do I have that this is not pure fabrication invented to weaken our position?
Before you say anything that you might regret, Excellency, I would like you to examine this.
What is it?
You should certainly recognize Asili's handwriting. He admits here to poisoning my cousin.
But this is madness. Whatever would have motivated him?
I have no explanation to give you, Excellency. But as far as I am concerned, I have done nothing more than exact justice for my cousin. And I am certain you would agree with me that this affair would be best kept a secret. My uncle has but one son remaining. And if he were to learn that his life is in danger at the hand of the bridge...
You speak with wisdom. What terrifying business. We have lost all hope of finding a remedy, I'm afraid. But justice has been served, and perhaps now, at least, the natives will call off their attack. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
I'm happy you came to find me. Allow me to apologize once again. I should have spoken to you sooner, told you what I knew, and not betrayed your trust.
Indeed you should have.
As I said, I'd like to make up for it and help you find your family again.
How do you intend to do that?
As you now know, I knew your mother. We had trouble communicating at first, of course, but we gradually learned to understand one another. She was important in her village. Based on what I know today, I think she was a Donegad. She told me her name, Arelwyn, and told me about her family. She even gave me a pendant for you. You were only a child, so I gave it to Mrs. de Sade for safekeeping.
She gave me a necklace when I went to say goodbye to her. She said it was a family heirloom. Did my mother tell you the name of her village?
No. But I'm sure the Norts can help us. They were the ones who took your mother to the continent.
It was such a long time ago. How can I find out if they remember?
The Norts record everything down to the gentlest breeze. They must have written something in a logbook somewhere. So, do you want to try and find out where you come from? Do you want to find your relatives?
Yes. All this is so new to me, but I suppose so, yes.
Let's go then.
De Sade, what can I do for you?
I have come to talk to you about a personal matter.
After what I revealed to you, I was sure you would come back to find me. What would you like to know?
You told me that I was born on one of your ships, of an islander captured on the island.
We'd like to know about this woman's origins.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I did not take part in those expeditions, and our old archives are far from here.
Is there no one on Tier 3D who can help us? Please.
Very well. I do know an old captain who could perhaps help you out.
Where can he be found?
His ship is moored in the port of Hikmet, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Captain Lissandro.
Thank you for your help, Admiral.
De Sade?
Yes, Admiral?
Don't get too caught up in the past. That one in particular. Nothing good will come of it.
Whether or not we choose to get caught up in it, Admiral, the past always catches up with us. Sadly, I'm paying the price of this. part in these expeditions is right here on the island.
It is indeed a stroke of luck. I hope he remembers my mother.
Do not worry. If his memory fails him, he may have kept his diary from that time.
Hello there. My name is de Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lissandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd. Well, what can I do for you?
Admiral Cabral advised me to speak to you about a matter of some concern to me.
The Admiral? Coming from a legate, I should have expected that. So?
You are the only one on this island that can help me.
Really? Oh, I think I understand. That's why your face looked familiar. The congregation is good at keeping its secrets, isn't it? This story is not a new one.
25 years. 25 years since the Nauts brought a woman who was captured on this island to Serene.
I remember. And yet it wasn't the first time. But on that occasion, a child was born.
So you can understand why we'd like to learn where this captive came from.
Yes, yes. I have seen more than a few Nauts looking for their parents. But what have you got to do with all this?
I met that woman in Serene. I got to know her well.
Listen, it's not that I don't want to help you, but my memory is no longer what it was. I wasn't the captain at the time. I wasn't the one who decided where we moored the ship. So I don't see how I can help you find out where this woman came from.
Do you need a little gold to jog your memory?
You're quite the merchant, aren't you? But since you're asking so nicely, I do actually need a new sail.
Here's your gold, Captain.
Perfect. My old boat thanks you. Very well. I need to look in my old logbooks. I'm sure I'll find something. Wait for me here. I'll be an hour at the most. Here it is. I found my old logbook. There's a passage in it that would probably interest you. Your mother came from a village on the plains in the southeast of the island. I'm talking about a place where the bones of the whale are visible from the coast. I believe the natives call it Vignamri.
Thank you for this information, Captain.
It's nothing. I'm getting sentimental in my old age. Good luck to you.
So here you are on the verge of discovering your mother's village, of finding your own people. How do you feel?
I don't really know. I'm a little lost, I suppose. All of this is so new to me.
I understand. Mrs. de Sardet was loving. She raised you with tenderness. And today you learn she is not your real mother. I'm sorry.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri. Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Elwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago, but I remember the village Denegad. Kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue. But it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved. It was a dark day, in which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
My father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes. Slan, your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Our Elwyn was a renowned healer across all of Tiafradi. Taking her place was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her powers.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me. But others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ulan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
What do you think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not a compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambition. And this is often done at the expense of others. There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find her.
The islanders protect their Donegada. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
Hello.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I'm looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ulan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ulan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ulan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much. But Ulan saved our village. Anyway, if you want to find her, try heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I'm extremely grateful.
There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals. It looks like she may be in danger.
Let's go and help. It's got to be her.
Maybe enlightened protect
How do you feel, madam?
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Denegad of Bignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or rather, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
A Relwyn gave it to me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. de Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Relwyn, who died far away from us all, and divorced Tierce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do such a thing. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved Relwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were among us. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit of his mother. You are home, my Magam. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, to the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative, and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child, what you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good for once in my deceitful life. For you and for her. I hope the enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.
Karantz, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I'll see you later, Father.
Take...
There you are, Garance.
How was the encounter?
Good. Enon Mil Frichtemann has filled my heart with strength. As I expected, he warned me about the threat the Renaigse are posing for our island. But go. He is expecting you. Stay on the right-hand path, and do not turn back. They say those who turn back awaken the guardians of the sanctuary.
was taken has returned, the flesh of Moy Earth. You, by simply coming into being, have tangled the strings of destiny of all the other children. I am he they call en on me Frichtinen. I have followed each of your steps since your arrival.
I hail you, Enon Miel Frichtemen. I have come to you to find a remedy.
A cure for the disease of a distant land. Her affliction was to be poisoned by her own children. Her veins rot in stagnant water. Her earth now bears poisoned fruit, and her children wither and die. And still it is those same children who can heal the lands, and with them heal themselves, if they only want it truly. They could be taught by my children, learn to give back in return, learn to heal. But for that, I must survive. I have seen by your side the shadow grow, taking form. Fed by the venom of intrigues from faraway lands, he spreads it today in my sap. To save his own life, he stole my strength, and that strength has driven him mad, because it is not made to be taken. He draws each day a little more from me, and threatens us all. His hunger has no limit.
I don't understand. Who are you talking about?
The one you call Constantine. You must stop him, or there will be no cure anymore for anything or anyone.
That's impossible. How could that be?
You must leave now. Someone has followed your footsteps. Someone has entered here without invitation. My children are waking and tracking. They will attack all farmers. Flee. You will be dead.
I saw a Renaigse fleeing the sanctuary. The Monesenaig must have slipped past you. Enon Mil Frichtemann cannot have been pleased about it. Did he still give you the answers you were looking for?
Yes. He told me that the Malachor had appeared because of the way the colonials have treated the Earth. It's actually some kind of poisoning. And it would be possible to cure it, but I'm not sure that I understood how.
So, the Renaigse would be the cause of their own deaths. If they weren't on the verge of doing the same thing to our island, I would be applauding. In terms of the antidote, Enon Mil Frichtemann is often difficult to understand. Ask Donegad.
Thank you, Dedra. I must dwell on it.
You look like you bit into a bitter fruit. Did you learn anything else?
Yes, but I would like to verify something before I tell you about it.
Fine. You know where to find me once you are done. Quawalam seg, Karants.
Goodbye. Constantine.
My dear cousin, I'm always happy to see you. What news do you bring?
I finally managed to enter the sanctuary at the heart of the island, and I was able to talk with Enon Miel Frichtemann.
How marvelous! Tell me about it.
The sanctuary is heavily protected. Only a High King can open it.
I remember you saying that Vimbar's death wasn't going to help us. How did you fix this problem?
I had to interfere in the natives' elections and earn the trust of the pretender who seemed to be the best choice.
You really are an outstanding diplomat. My father is an old, bitter man, but he was right about you. Tell me, who did you choose?
Deirdre, the queen of the village of Vedluk. She's quite the radical warrior, but she's a strong leader.
I'm certain that you have made the right choice. And then what did you do?
I was able to enter the sanctuary. It was an incredible experience.
It had to be. Oh, how I envy you. Entering the most secret places on this island, talking to a god. What does he look like? Is he some kind of very old and very powerful Donegad?
No. In fact, I spoke to an extremely large tree, as strange as it may sound.
Fascinating. And I thought that gods were always old, bearded men. Did he tell you where the Malachor was coming from? Is it a curse that he cast upon the first settlers?
No. According to him, we are responsible for the emergence of the Malachor. By exploiting the earth so much, we have poisoned it, and the disease has contaminated us through the water that we drink and the plants that we eat.
Strange, and yet it seems plausible. So, there wouldn't be an antidote?
He says that the earth can be healed, that his children know how to do it. I suppose he was talking about the Donegada. He also said that by healing the earth, we would heal those who live on it.
This is a fascinating revelation. It won't be easy for our neighbors to accept it, however. I'm afraid that even my father might receive it with skepticism. Did he tell you anything else?
Yes. Something rather disturbing. He talked about you. He said his existence was in danger because of you.
Really? But that doesn't make any sense. I never hurt anybody on this island. Unlike our neighbors, I have never abducted or tried to convert islanders.
I don't think that's what he was referring to.
Cousin, please, you know me. I have made some mistakes, but I never threatened anybody. The only person who I put in danger is you. And you know how sorry I am about that.
Yes, I do know.
Forget about it, will you? This god manifestly wants us to pay for the sins of our fathers and to have his revenge for the invasion. By sowing the seeds of discord between us, he's probably hoping to weaken us. Do you realize that you have succeeded where everyone else has failed? The whole continent should be thanking you. But I see it's already quite late. If you will excuse me, dear cousin. Regrettably, I must leave you.
Where are you going?
Not very far, rest assured. But I have a small personal matter to take care of, you see. Don't be concerned. There's absolutely no risk. Use the opportunity to take some rest. You've really performed miracles recently. See you later.
But why would he leave like that? Guard, do you know where my cousin is going?
Sorry, Your Excellency. His Highness didn't tell me anything.
You are one of his bodyguards, aren't you?
I am, Your Excellency. But recently it has been difficult to force His Highness to accept our presence.
Recently? You mean this isn't the first time he's left without an escort?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency.
You'd better tell me everything.
But Fine. I don't mean to be disrespectful towards him. But His Highness's behavior has been very peculiar recently. He sleeps very little and goes out alone almost every night.
And it didn't occur to anyone that I should be informed?
Well, His Highness had specifically ordered us not to tell you about it.
And where does he go? I thought the days when he used to go from tavern to tavern were over.
He doesn't go to taverns, Your Excellency. From what I know, he goes outside the city.
Where could he go outside the city?
I've no idea. We saw him going north. That's all I know.
Listen, I understand this matter is putting you in a difficult situation. You were supposed to protect my cousin wherever he went, but he refused and ordered you to keep your mouth shut. But Constantine is not just my governor. He's my cousin. I'm worried about him. He's already been abducted once when leaving the city. So, if you know anything else...
I don't really know where he's going, Your Excellency. But I think I know where you could find out. When he doesn't leave the palace, he stays in his office for hours. He writes so much down in there that he could fill entire books. Here, I have the key. Take it. I hope you find His Highness and manage to make him see reason.
I don't like this at all. What could he be doing outside every night?
This boy has always behaved erratically. I'd love to believe that he's out meeting girls, but sadly I doubt it.
I'm starting to believe that the revelations of Enon Mil Frichtemann had some truth to them. Let's rummage through his papers. We may find a clue.
Your cousin has descended into madness. But we can't let him kill these people simply because he's afraid they might have seen him.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
May the trees on your road always bear fruit.
Thanks. You saved us. These beasts would have torn us to shreds.
These animals were strange, as if they were enraged.
Thanks again, Renaigse.
I'm glad I could help you. And perhaps you can do me a favor in return. I'm looking for a young man, a Renaigse, but he looks a bit like an Onol Manawi.
Someone like you?
In some ways. But his marks are different, darker.
He's talking about the crazy Donegad.
Indeed, that might be him. Do you know where to find him?
No, we see him passing by around nightfall, but we don't know where he's going.
He walks along the path, often followed by some beasts.
He has a sinister look in his eyes. He scares me, so we stay hidden.
And you do well to hide. I think he's the one who sent these animals to attack you. Do you have any idea how I could figure out where he's going?
He could hide in the old house. He would see him passing by and could follow, couldn't he?
You're right. If you take this path to the right, you'll reach an abandoned house. You can hide there, and from up there you will be able to see the path perfectly.
Thank you. You've been a great help. And stay hidden. You may still be in danger.
Be prudent, Onol Manawi.
You're very isolated here. Why live so far from a village?
It's a long story. Matir, will you tell him?
When I was young, I got engaged to a young man, but he wasn't my Minundanem. I thought he was, but I was wrong. And one day, I met the one I would love for all my life. As I had broken my engagement, we were exiled.
So, our parents came to settle here. They built this house, and we were born.
There. Now you know the whole story. Do you want to know anything else?
I'll leave you alone.
Qua awalem seg.
We can't be seen from the path. Let's wait here to see where Constantine goes.
Here comes your cousin. In very strange company.
himself here. Let's follow him, quick.
Constantine, what are you doing?
Cousin! You're here! I would have preferred that you learn all of this another way. To be able to reveal everything to you in better circumstances. But whatever power we earn, there are some things that escape us.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but what are you doing here?
I seem monstrous to you. I am well aware of that. But I promise to explain everything when the moment is right. Then you will understand. You will see. The temptation is so great to share all with you right now. You have done so much for me. You have given me so much. I haven't forgotten, believe me. But I still have more to do. Forgive me and have patience. Hold them back. But do not kill him for anything in the world.
Constantine, come back and explain yourself. Gone mad. It's the only explanation.
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Flesh of my earth, help me. You saw him do it, didn't you? You saw him draw from me, steal my children, my guardians, pervert my force.
Yes, but I don't understand.
What he wants, eternity, strength, power. It is what they all want. Those who take without looking beyond themselves. Like all those from the faraway lands.
He wasn't like that. He couldn't care less about all that.
Then it is the sickness, the brevity of his existence that terrified him to the point it changed who he is. You must stop him. Each time that he bonds, he destroys me a little more. And with me, the hope for a cure. And now it's my heart, my most sacred sanctuary that he covets. You must kill him.
It is madness.
The consequence of his folly, yes. Believe me, there is no other solution. Stop him, flesh of my earth, or there will be nothing left to save.
I still can't believe this.
I understand what you feel. I have trouble believing it myself, but Enon Milfrichteman never lies. We need to stop your cousin by any means possible.
We must learn more if we want to understand his plans and prepare against them. This hiding place he was talking about in his notes. We must find it.
If he is as clever as I think, my child, there is a chance his guards will have been warned of our coming. We need to be prudent from now on, even if he is keen on sparing you.
I'm well aware. It is not just my life at stake.
And what hope do we have against all the creatures he is assembling? Give us your help, Illuminated, because the path is dark.
Allow me to be more pragmatic, Father. It's an army that we need. Allies. The natives will help us. Perhaps the Nauts if we're able to convince the Admiral. We should also be able to count on Sieglinde. Her troops will be all the more welcome. And of course we can also go and find the Mother Cardinal, as well as Governor Buren. What an absurd project. On the continent they would brand us crazy, but not here. On an island where everything is possible, and all folly is accepted. Let us go. We need to put an end to all of this.